7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
He has a lot of problems.
Struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow.
You bleach your hair, you're a sellout.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Moto Aftermath Show. This is episode number 273. This is our Hangtown wrap-up show. My name is Travis. I'm your host, and I'm going to be solo in studio here. So this show is going to be a bit shorter and slightly different than some of the other shows here. We're going to do a couple of these throughout the outdoor season because it's summertime and everybody's got stuff to do. So we've been looking at having some different co-hosts on, and we will have some different co-hosts on as we go throughout the summer here. Justin will be back for a few of these. Cole will be here for one of these. I've got a few other people in mind that we're trying to get lined up here. But the way my life is going right this second, we're just doing a solo one here because I just didn't have time to schedule anyone. I'm actually filming this on Tuesday morning. So this is super duper late to film this and put it out here in the same day. But we're making it happen. I do have to apologize to you guys. On the personal side of my life right now, it's a complete mess. We're in the process of moving. We acquired a house, so we're doing some home improvement projects. And basically, all of my time is taken up outside of working in the powder coating shop on that. So that's part of the reason why I'm not, we will get back to doing race reaction videos here. We'll get back to, like I said, recording these shows and having them much better prepared and ready to rock and roll, although I feel pretty prepared today for this show. We'll get back to all of that, but right now for the next week or two here, I would say probably until the break, it's going to be a little touch and go. I'm hoping this weekend we get a whole bunch of it wrapped up. We get actually moved in, and then hopefully that will kind of lighten my load on the weekends here a little bit on the personal side of things so we can get back to, like I said, doing as many and as much of these shows as we possibly can. But until that time, I do apologize because there's just a lot going on and something has to give. So this is the thing that's giving a little bit. But anyway, let's jump into this. Before we get started, just want to thank our sponsors. So first off, this show is presented by Complete Racing Solutions, and this month we're highlighting CRS Performance Services. Coach Rob and his team have developed specific performance bundles to utilize health and fit health. I'm doing well on this. It's very early in the morning, in case you can't tell. To optimize health and improve athletic performance. The first performance bundle now available to the public with the integration of the personalized sweat analysis. And this is what I talked about, that little patch thing that they will sell you that you can put on your arm, and it will actually tell you what your sweat rate is. And then that will allow them to create a custom blended energy fuel blend of drink for you to use to optimize your performance on race day. The energy fuel stuff is awesome. I've used it. I'm waiting on my next bag right now because it is summer. It's a great thing. I drink it in the shop even during the day because I stand in this shop that is 100 degrees plus with that oven going, and I just sweat all day. So having energy fuel to help get you through your race day is perfect. And like I said, if you get this little sweat analysis thing and then share the data with Coach Rob and his team, they can get you all lined up for that and get literally a custom blended mix for you to really help optimize your hydration. So make sure to check out CompleteRacingSolutions.com there, and Coach Rob and his team can help you out with all of that. Also on board with us here, we're in the TLR Coatings studios, as we've talked about before, so make sure to check them out for all your custom powder coating and Cerakoting needs. We have Flo Racing on board with us. They work on any and all bikes and specialize in mini bikes. They build sick PW50s. and they work on a lot of Cobras and 65s, all that kind of stuff. But can work on anything and have a whole bunch of parts. Link to them in the description down below. We have Gutter Works, so if you're in the Southwest Michigan area and you need some exterior modifications to your house, which I actually talked to them yesterday about some exterior modifications to my house. Make sure to check them out. Holster Co. for all your things that go pew pew and bang bang, and holsters that hold them. Make sure to check them out. Link in the description down below. And we've got Isaac Nelson Design, so if you need a custom logo designed, Isaac is your guy. So, with that being said, let's jump into this 450 race recap, brought to you by our friends at Gutter Works. Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha. Well, the streak is broken, and Chase Sexton is the one who did it. Now, Chase Sexton had a absolute hell of a ride on Saturday, and I mean hell of a ride. That second moto, going from down in the third corner to first, was wildly impressive. First person to do it since Jeffrey Hurlings. Go look it up, kids. He came to Ironman at one point. Anyway, it was wildly impressive. First moto was great. Second moto just even better. I will say, and this is here is my, with all due respect, but in that second moto, he was pushing and he was wildly out of control. And I mean wildly out of control. There were several moments in the last half of that second moto that I was going, oh my God, he's going to die. Oh my God, he's going to die. Like several moments. So that was cool. But to be honest, I don't think that's a sustainable pace for Chase at all, period, end of discussion. Did he do it? Did he make it happen? Kind of like Stu used to do, that we all praise Stu for and remember Stu by? Yes, he did. He totally did it. It happened. It was great. Is that sustainable that he could do over the next 20 motos or the next 18 motos, I guess it is now? No, absolutely not. He couldn't do that. He'll hit the deck. He'll wad himself up into a pretzel, and that'll be it for his season. Now, my caveat here, or as some of you are going to call my bias towards this here, is going to be, does Chase do what he did if Jet doesn't crash? And I'm not sure. Chase rode great. Chase rode absolutely excellent. But I don't think Chase does that if Jet doesn't crash. That first moto, Jet was doing his normal thing. Great start, out front, probably going to just rock and roll to a victory. And so if he does that, does Chase have the confidence in that second moto to rip through the pack and go from 40th to first? Number one. Number two, how much farther up the road is Jet than what AP was? We'll never know. And again, this is all props to Chase, everything. But if you ask my opinion, which I know none of you are, because you guys already know I'm just biased towards Jet because that's my dude. I'm not sure Chase does that. I'm not sure he has the mental confidence to do that if Jet wins that first moto and isn't hurt. Now, with that being said, round of applause for Chase. He's now got the red plate. First win since 2023. Or, I'm sorry, since 2022. That was wildly, wildly impressive. So, we'll see how the rest of the season goes moving forward. But I'm just not sure that starting next week we don't see more of the same we've seen for the previous 24 motos. Hunter Lawrence goes 2-4 for second overall. Hunter is fantastic. He is one of the guys. He lacks a bit at the end of the moto. I've heard in other podcasts people point out that it's maybe a bike-related issue because he's to them, what it looks like, and I'll have to pay closer attention to this week when we're at Thunder Valley, but to them, what it seems like is that bike is a little stiff for him, and it wears him out throughout the race. So by the time you get to the end of the moto, he's not really, like, tired, but he's not optimal. So we'll have to pay attention to that, but, I mean, over the course of 4 motos so far, he is one of the guys. He gets great starts. Honda has those starts figured out outdoors with their bikes, no problem. And so he's right up there in starting position with everybody else. And he can lay it down. So we'll see what happens moving forward again with him. But I think he's established himself as one of these like top 4, top 5 guys here. No problem. End of discussion, period. And to be honest, if there are more chinks in Jet's armor, I do believe that Hunter's going to get one of these also. So, AP goes 5-2 for third. AP rode great, but AP even said he was just done at the end of that second moto. He was wore out. It was rough. AP again right here. He is another guy that is just 3 through 5 consistently. He's taken that step, and he's now into that realm of things at this point. So I don't know that he gets any farther up on the box really for an overall here, especially because we are missing Jet in there, but I think he's definitely top 5 on the box most of this season. Justin Cooper goes 4-3 for fourth. This is exactly where we thought he'd be, like a 3 to 6 guy. There's no surprise here. Again, good starts, laying down laps. I think he'll progress and get better and can sniff more podiums towards the end of the year. But this is a great start to his rookie 450 season. Jason Anderson ripping all day on Saturday. He goes 3-5 for fifth. He showed up. He was actually part of the conversation this week, which was cool. He's, I don't know. I think he dabbles in the top 5 here, but I don't know that he's consistently in the top 5. I would call him more of a 4 to 8 guy at this point. He's doing okay, but I also think it's one of those things, I think we've kind of talked about it. I know some other people I've listened to have talked about it. Everybody's give a shit meter for the series is going to start dropping. After we get through the first 4, depending upon where you are, your give a shit meter will start dropping more and more until we get to like midway and past, and then it'll really drop off because then it's just going to be like, all right, cool, I'm just going to start gearing up for SMX and just go through the motions at this. So right now he really cares, but I do think if he doesn't crack more podiums here, I do think we're going to reach a point and he is going to start to it's diminishing returns is what it's turning into. So Dylan Ferrandis goes 6-8 for sixth. He was fighting with the bike all day, said he wasn't comfortable. They did the piece on him on the show where he said he wasn't comfortable, and this is it. Now, I do question with him being on this Phoenix Honda here, the bike is good, no doubt, but just how good? How close can he really get to these guys? Because in his mind, he's a past champion. He should be up there battling with Chase and Jet. But I just don't know if that bike is quite there. It's like not much, but just a tick off to allow him to do that. And to be honest, I'm just not sure he's got that raw top-end speed to do that. Like 2021 when he won that title was great, but there's a new level now. And I'm just not sure he's at that level outdoors, to be honest with you. There's been so much time off the bike with injuries that I just don't know that he can get there unless he goes a couple more years here without an injury and can just build and build and build. So we'll have to wait and see. Barsha goes 8-7 for seventh. His knee is hurt, so I don't expect a whole lot out of him here this summer. Mookie goes 7-9 for eighth. Okay. Freddie Noren, 9-10 for ninth. That's good for Freddie there. Craig goes 12-11 for 10. Craig's elbow still bothers him. He can't push quite the way he wants to. So supposedly it will get better, but we'll see here as we progress on through the season. Grant Harlan goes 11-12 for 11th. Okay, that's good. He's building back into form where he should be. Jet Lawrence, 24-6 for 12th. Now, let's talk about Jet here. So, first off, as much of a Jet homer as I am, stupid fucking move there, that first moto. That was full-blown I haven't lost a moto on a 450. I can do no wrong on a 450. I'm the fucking man. Everybody else would have gone, nope, it's cool. Braking bumps are too big. That face isn't the same as it was in qualifying. No one else is doing this. I'm good. Not Jet. Jet had that stupid confidence. That stupid kid confidence is what we're going to say here. So he was going for it. Now, in all fairness, too, if you watch it closely, he comes up short on that double coming out of the corner. When he comes up short on that double, his rear wheel bounces, and you can go back and watch it because I've watched this closely now. It bounces, which I don't think allows him to get drive. And then the pop he's trying to get off of that braking bump going up the face of that little, whatever the hell it was, roller thing, when he pops, it just throws him forward. And he's just, the lack of drive with that, and so he's super short and he's way off the front, just a recipe for disaster. And that was a gnarly crash. That was effing gnarly. Like, no questions about it. I was surprised to see him get up. I give him full props for getting up and continuing to ride. And it really sucks to get within 3 positions of getting at least a point, but whatever. But that was stupid to even go for that. Jet, and this I think was actually good to have happen, because I believe this will humble him and they'll be able to look at it and kind of go back and go, okay, cool, like we're good. We'll not make this mistake, which we've seen before. Jet doesn't really make the same mistake twice, but that was dumb to even try. So second moto comes out, he gets 6th. From what I understand, he took a peg to the leg, took a huge chunk out of his leg, and basically gave him a dead leg, which is why it took him so long to get up and get going. And then he couldn't grip with his legs because of his legs, so he was working with his upper body, and it just blew the whole day up for him. So to salvage 12th, to salvage points, he's like 5th or 6th in points now, I can't remember. I would call that okay. It makes things interesting, and it's going to definitely make at least the next few rounds. Now, with that being said, I think he comes out next week and he just absolutely runs shop on these dudes here. I don't think he'll try anything stupid. So with that being said, I think these boys are in trouble, at least for the next couple of rounds, if not the rest of this season, because he's pissed now. He was pissed. You could tell in his interview before that second moto, and there's no way he's not pissed. The kid does care about this stuff. So we'll have to see how it goes going forward. But in my opinion, this is going to be, we could see him actually come out, and instead of just getting a 3 or 4 second lead and just chilling, we could see him come out Thunder Valley and literally dominate these guys by a minute plus, which would be interesting, because then I'll be super interested to talk to Justin and be like, so what do you think of it now? Because Justin won't ever give him credit because he doesn't win by enough. All right, so Harry Coulis goes 15-13 for 13th. Derek Kelly 13-15 for 14. Justin Hill just out here collecting SMX points, 16-14 for 15. Marshall Welton 14-16 for 16th. I heard he had a pretty gnarly get off in practice, that uphill double before he turned and come back down where Jet crashed there. I heard that his body jumped that double, but his bike did not. So good for him to get up and do that. Phil, excellent starts, bro. Like, Phil's starts are amazing. I don't know what's wrong with him here. He's supposed to get checked out. That was a gnarly crash. But 10 DNF for 17th. Anthony Rodriguez, Wildcat Racing. Wow. 19-18 for 18. Colin Park, not as good this week. Goes 18-19 for 19. And to round out the top 20, or I guess we should go 21st since 21st gets points. Roman Pope goes 26-17 for 20th. And Chiz goes 17-23 for 21st. Let's see here. Any other shout out to Michigan local Jeff Walker there, going 37-31 for 36. Good job to even make it, bud. So that's been your 450 race recap there, brought to you by our friends at Gutter Worx. So comment down below if you think Jet's just going to dominate next week, because that's what I think. I think we're going to go into Thunder Valley and we're going to see Jet dominate like we have not seen him dominate outdoors yet as far as winning. Let's see here. Complete Racing Solutions halftime report is our next thing here. I don't have a whole lot for the halftime report here. We could talk a little MXGP there. Lucas Coonan goes 1-1 in the 250 class there, which was cool. And it's really cool because him building, it makes it interesting for him coming over next year, which is, from my understanding, what's going to happen. So I think the more that he can win and the more confidence he can gain will just make him more confident coming into the United States next year, which will just make everything way more interesting over here. He's still like 50-something points down to DeWolf, but that title, I think, will get much more interesting as we progress here. As far as 450s go, Prado back to his winning form there and leading points. So that is, at least I think he is. Let's check that. Hold on a sec here. Pause. Yeah, so Prado goes 1-1, and then Geyser goes 3-2. Let's go. Point standings. Yeah, so he's in. So Prado is back in first here for points there. He took the red plate back from Timmy G. That 450 title there is up for grabs. Now, the super interesting thing to me watching this is Jeffrey Hurlings. So Hurlings goes 2-3, which is pretty much the best he's done all year as far as both motos go. Let's see here. We could check his results. Yeah, so he's doing okay, but it was a rough start. I'll be interested to see if he can start rattling off some wins here as we go. He's obviously older. Injuries have set him back. Prado came out like a firecracker here. But I'll be interested to see where we get to with him if he can win, because that, I think, is a big question of can Hurlings actually win like an overall. I'm pretty sure he's won a moto this year or two, but can he actually win an overall and really throw his hat in the ring here for this title fight? Yeah, sorry, allergies. Anyway, so the MXGP series is definitely heating up. I do keep an eye on that. I don't follow that quite as closely as I do, but I definitely watch all the highlights there with the qualifying races and stuff. I just don't have enough time in the day to watch all the races. This isn't my full-time job, so like during the day, and I don't subscribe to the MXGP stuff. So anyway, comment down below if you think Hurlings is going to actually pick up an overall win this year, because I'm interested to see what the kind of consensus is out there, because like I said, I'm 50-50 on it at this point. So let's see, what else do we have on the halftime report. So interesting thing I found out this week, the Triumph 450, which I thought was coming out this year, I've now found out, at least through the grapevine, the rumor mill is they haven't, it's not ready yet. So that's an interesting thing, because my understanding was Savachi was going to ride 450s next year. So if they don't get that done and out where they can actually ride, or where he can actually ride that next year, I'm a little confused at what they're going to do. Like, they're going to make him do 2 years no Supercross and then make him ride outdoors 2 years. That's rough. I'm going to have to see if I can find him and corner him after the race at Redbud and see what he knows that's going on with the 450. So that's something that we'll definitely keep an eye on. Slight Ducati update. It's down to my understanding for them, it's down to choosing between going with JGR or Phoenix Racing. The Phoenix Racing team has a lot more resources behind the scenes than what I originally thought. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see. But from what I understand, Ducati's down to choosing between those two as to who they're going to go with for being the team over here. And the other interesting thing that happened this week, so we all saw Danger Boy make the comment on the podium last week of, oh, I knew that Levi would fade. He fades at the end of motos, that kind of stuff, right? Basically insinuating that Levi's not in shape, which is an interesting thing to insinuate, but he's Danger Boy, so he does what he wants, and that's fine because I'm here for this WWE wrestling crap. But supposedly this week somewhere, and again, I heard this on a show, but I guess Sexton was defending Levi, saying, yeah, Levi's in shape. He doesn't fade. That's total crap. So I'll tell you what, love him or hate him as far as Danger Boy and that whole Deegan entourage goes, they create stories after stories after stories. So now it's like the training partners are getting in on defending other training partners. This is wonderful. I can't wait for him to get in the 450 class and start talking shit because this is just going to be the best thing ever, in my opinion. We are going to have so much to talk about, quite literally, all the time, because he goes from thanking God and just humble and just thanks for being on the podium to, yeah, I'm the best. I'm tired of people talking shit. They're going to fade. I know they're out of shape. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. I don't know. It's the best thing ever, though. So we'll keep an eye on that, on how that goes. But I thought it was very interesting to hear that Sexton's defending Levi, saying, yeah, he's in shape. I don't know what Deegan's talking about. He's actually in shape. So, and that's basically all I have for your Complete Racing Solutions halftime report here. I'm trying to keep up on other things here to make it interesting, but there were probably a few things I missed this week that I should have put notes in that would be interesting for you guys to hear that some of you guys might not hear because you don't listen to all the different stuff like I do. But there we are. So, Complete Racing Solutions, make sure to check them out. Link in the description down below. Okay, moving on here. Going to wrap this show up here. 250 race recap. Brought to you by our friends at Holster Co. For all your things that go bang, bang, boom, boom, and the things that hold them, make sure to check them out. Link in the description down below there. Okay. Now we've got your Isaac Nelson designs.
Deegan Danger Zone.
So Deegs goes 1-2. Gnarly get off that second moto. That was gnarly. For him to jump right up, man, that is that youthful exuberance out there of him being able to jump right up after that, because that handlebar punched him in the stomach and threw him off that bike like you would not believe. Oh, that was wild. Wild crash. Gets up though, salvages second, goes 1-2 on the day, like I said, for first overall. It was really funny. On Saturday, when the first motos were going on, I watched him at a graduation party I was at my neighbor's house, and Deegs out front winning, and I'm just stirring the pot with people there, and I'm calling it out. I'm going, Deegs is going 22-0. Now, obviously, that's not a thing anymore, but we're 3 for 4, which is pretty good, like 75% win here. He's definitely establishing himself as the effing man this year as far as the 250 class goes, and to be honest, it's kind of getting to the point here. Like, we have, I believe, 4 more motos. I was looking at the schedule the other day. I think that Hangtown is in the first group here. I don't think we go Thunder Valley, break, Hangtown. I think we go Thunder Valley, Hangtown, then break. But, man, I'll tell you what, in these next 4 motos, if he wins even 2 out of the 4 and goes to, what would we be then, 5 out of 8? I mean, dude, that is... If you can even win 50% of the motos, you're going to have a good year. So, right now, 2 rounds in, he definitely looks like the man. Is he going to win this title? I don't know. We got a ton of racing left to go. I think Vial's building, and I think he will continue to build as we go through the summer. Obviously, Kitchen's a threat. Hymas, we'll get to him in a little bit, but he threw his hat in the ring this weekend. What the fuck is happening with Joe Schmoda? Is he going to do anything this summer? Who knows? But man, right now Deegan is commanding this and running at it from the front there. So we'll have to wait and see. But man, he is ripping and he is riding good. I'm excited to continue to watch this. He's starting to really, really establish himself as the man. Tom Bial goes 4-1 for second. That second moto, little bit of a gimme there. Like, he was riding great, but a little bit of a gimme there with Hayden. Sorry. Using the big camera. Forgot it has a time limit there. So that means this show's been over half an hour already, which is good because I was kind of nervous that we were going to go like 15 minutes here and this was going to be the shortest show absolutely ever. But anyway, back to what I was saying here as we're still breaking down our 250 race recap brought to you by Holster Co. here. Vial 4-1 for second, and like I said, Vial that first moto just couldn't get anything going there. So salvaged the fourth there, which was a little bit strange. And I mean, to be honest, it was partially because of Hymas running away out front too that caused that fourth. Outside of that, he just was behind the normal guys that he would be behind, or could be behind in a moto. Not necessarily would, because obviously he won the second moto, but he was behind Hayden and Levi, so whatever. Kitchen goes 3-3 for third. Definitely not out of shape, according to Sexton. And that's okay. That's an okay ride, but I don't know. I guess maybe it wasn't his favorite track or something. I'm not really 100% sure there. That just wasn't quite the Kitchen we saw the week before. So we'll see going forward here where he's at. But again, these top three are basically the top three. I don't see a whole lot of variation going on this year here. There are going to be these outstanding rides by other people, but we'll see moving on. Now, the super interesting thing with Levi is, like, can he get a moto win? Because he's looked great, but he hasn't put it together here now in 4 motos. So if we go the first, 8 motos and he has 0 moto wins, then it's going to be like, okay, he's a guy and he's up there battling, but he just cannot put it together. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But it's definitely a storyline to follow there. Chance Hymas goes 2-4 for fourth, and Chance showed up and showed what he could do. They've got this diet thing figured out with whatever he was lacking in nutrients. And man, he led, 15 minutes or more of that first moto and looked good. I could not believe what he was doing there. Like, he was out 3-4 seconds at points, which is just wildly impressive, especially because that knee's still fucked up. So is he ever going to get that fixed? Who knows? Or is he just going to continue to try to ride without getting that fixed? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But man, that was a good day. This is the kind of ride we expect to see out of him, and this is the kind of ride, from what I understand from the team, that they expect and he expects of himself. Hymas knows he's good. He does all sorts of, from what I'm hearing at the practice track, he is faster than Joe. Now, Joe's got that ankle injury, and we'll get to Joe here in a bit, but from what I understand, he has been faster than Joe all of outdoor season here as far as training goes. So we'll see how this progresses. But man, if he can start putting together some stuff like that first moto, whoo, doggy. He's gonna very quickly by mid-season start throwing his hat in the ring to be one of those top 3 guys also. Shimoda goes 7-5 for fifth. It's a conundrum, dude. I don't know. I mean, he had that ankle injury, so I guess whatever. But of course, we don't know anything because we can't say a fuck all about injuries. We just have to sit here and guess. And at this point, you know what? If I think he got an injury, but I don't really know what the injury is or how bad it is because nobody talks about it, you know what? You just suck. That's what I'm saying. Joe Schmoda right now, he just sucks. That's it. That's what I'm going with. Y'all want me to say you don't suck? Then tell me what the fuck the injury is. That's my Holster Co. rant. Just tell us what the fucking injuries are. Did you break your ankle? Is it highly sprained? You got tendon problems? I don't know. Just say something. Come out. Lars is out fucking doing the pressers anyway. Lars, tell us what's wrong with Joe's ankle. It's hurt. Okay, cool. What's hurt about it? How long is the recovery? When do we think it will get better? Let's just have a little bit of information. So anyway, Holster Co. Reload Ramp. Also, Holster Co. bringing you a 250 race recap here. Pierce Brown goes 5'10" for 6th. Okay. Swole had a rough day for him. 8'8" for 7th. Didn't have good starts or anything, so he'll bounce back, I'm sure. Oh, here we go. We'll get to my controversial topic here. Ty Masterpool, 6'11" for 8th. This is exactly what I said. This is exactly what I said. And maybe he'll get better as we go through, but this is what I said. He's going to do the same performance-wise in the 250 class that he would do in the 450 class. Ty Masterpool, if he could perform anywhere close to what he did last year, he would be getting Freddie Noren was 9th. And Ty Masterpool last year was better than Freddie Noren. So, here we are, dicking around in the 250 class. Yep, we're riding for Pro Circuit. That's cool. That is a cool thing. Except for, you already had a factory ride on Star Yamaha. Now, maybe, we go through, we do some testing, and maybe after the first break here, we come out and we're way, way better. But I'm doubtful. I'm really doubtful. And to be honest, I don't think Ty Masterpool runs up to beyond the top 5 in the 250 class. So all you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot for money and everything else. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, to me, I don't understand it because this isn't turning into a factory ride here for the like a full-time factory ride. This is literally just a factory ride right now, which he had a ride that wasn't factory, but it was good enough to get him to all the races and everything. So I don't understand this. To me, this is just, I don't want to say a waste of time because you're riding Pro Circuit. So now you get to say, well, I rode Star, I rode Pro Circuit. Like, the only thing left is Honda and KTM. But anyway, but to me, it just wasn't like a great move because, again, nothing's going to come out of it. You're not getting another factory 250 ride like full time. Like it just isn't going to happen unless you for some reason win races, which why would you win races all of a sudden when you were on Star before and couldn't do it? Like, I don't know, man. Ty Masterpool is a great rider and I got nothing against him. I just question the actual thought process behind jumping from a 450 deal that I assume is getting you to the races. Like, they're providing bikes, so you're not out that. They're getting you to the races where you're going to get similar results, say 5 to 10 place finishes. You'll make some more money, and you stand a chance at a fill-in factory ride for 450 because you're proving what you can do on the 450. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I definitely have some major thoughts on this. Comment your thoughts below. Should he have taken the PC ride or not? Because, like I said, in my mind, I'm like, no, that wasn't a smooth move, but whatever. Julian Beaumer goes 9'9" for 9th. Got taken out by Shimoda in the first moto. Little dirty, but not crazy. Casey Cochran goes 12'12" for 10th. And fastest qualifier? I don't know what happened there. I don't know at all. And not only did he do fastest qualifier, he then backed it up. So, like, good for him. But I don't know what's going on there. That is, that's an interesting, spicy meatball, as the guys are saying now. So I'll be interested to see how this works going forward. He hasn't been wildly impressive to start his pro career. But you put down some fastest qualifiers like that and you ride like that at the test track and you're going to continue to get rides. So Nate Thrasher has been irrelevant. Surprise, surprise. Goes 10-14 for 11th. Dax Bennick, rough start to the season. 11-15 for 12th. Jordan Smith doing exactly how I thought Jordan Smith would do outdoors. 32-6 for 13th. Savachi, super rough day. Electrical problem in the first moto there. 35-7 for 14th. Ryder D is not going to have a factory ride for very long. Go 14-18 for 15th. Romano, who is probably going to be off Star at the end of the year, 17-16 for 16th. Mark Phineas is 33-13 for 17th. Dylan Schwartz, 15-19 for 18th. Cody Schock is not great on a 250 outdoors. 1324 for 19th. Talon Hawkins 1625 for 20th. And rounding out the top 21, Jet Reynolds 2717 for 21st. Let's just scroll here. Wow, there's a guy from Israel. That's crazy. And that has been your 250 race recap, brought to you by our friends at Holster Co. So, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know, shorter show, not quite as in-depth. I'm doing what I can here, people. Like I said, give me a couple of more weeks here to get my whole housing situation figured out, and I will be back full bore onto this stuff and be able to provide more content and the best content possible that we can do for y'all. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate all you watching who watch. That's really appreciated. Comment down below your thoughts on anything I said. Do you agree with my Ty Masterpool take, my Jeffrey Hurlings take, my Sexton take, or my Jet take? And we will be back next week. I am trying to work on getting a co-host for next week. I may hit up the one and only Coach Rob or somebody like that here and see if they can jump on here next Sunday. But that is what we're going to be doing. If not, I'll be back with another solo show here for Thunder Valley. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Check out the sponsors. Links in the description down below. And we'll be back next week. See ya.